Jacquian Williams. Let's go right into it. Jacquian Williams, 6th-round pick number 202. Played at USF as a linebacker from Riverview, Florida, where I used to live.
Ooh.
So, yeah. I used to live there in Hillsborough. I technically live in Gibsonton, which is right next door to it, but I was like 1 block over from Riverview. So, and people don't like Gibsonton necessarily. It's kind of a carny town. Like literally, the town was started by people who were the freak show people of Ringling Brothers. I'm not even making that up. Like that's not like a, that's not a hyperbole. That's like legit what happened. But yeah, so he started off at Fort Scott Community College, where he also played with Jason Pierre-Paul, JPP. Some people may have heard of him. The two would actually go on to play together at USF, and then obviously played the Giants as well. So he played 4 seasons with the Giants overall. Best known for the NFC Championship game against the Niners, which was January 22nd, 2012. That's where he literally caused Kyle Williams to fumble on a punt return, setting up the game-winning field goal that would bring the Giants to the Super Bowl. You could make the case that potentially, if not for the draft pick of Jacquian Williams, the Giants would not be going to the Super Bowl that year. Somebody else might not make that play. I mean, we also could have scored another way, perhaps, and still gone. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible that we wouldn't have gone, but it's one of those little interesting things. Like, here's a guy who played 4 years with the Giants, didn't really have a huge role with the team overall. He never really quite panned out, but he made a freaking big play.
He made it when we needed it.
Exactly.
So, thank you, Mr. Williams.
And this is a guy that point blank, anytime he walks into a bar in the New York area, somebody should buy that man a beer. Point blank. In fact, I don't know if he lives still in my neck of the woods, but it'd be kind of interesting if he, if he did, and I saw him there, because there's actually a Giants bar right outside of USF, so it'd be kind of cool if we can get him there. Yeah, see. After the game, this was the quotes he gave, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Because remember, after the game, there was a big issue with the fact that with the whole scenario of these punch outs there from him. After the game, he said, the thing is, we knew he had 4 concussions, so that's our biggest thing, was to take him out of the game. Williams literally fumbled twice in that game, which led to 10 points for the Giants. And it's kind of interesting, the back and forth we're talking here, because we just talked about Tyler Sash a minute ago and, passing away, and CTE potentially being at least a contributing factor to his mental health issues and drug issues. Now you got a guy that literally was saying, hey, this guy had 4 concussions. We decided to go after him for it. So there was a big thing on that. I mean, the NFL literally looked into whether or not they should fine the Giants or do something about this, because there was other people who said the same thing. Like, we knew we had this man had concussions. We went for it. You kind of like it when it's on your team to a certain degree because we won the game. But I'll tell you what, if I was a Niner fan, I'd be pissed. Not exactly the classiest move. But we did it. We won. We got to the Super Bowl. We got 4 rings, damn it. So he literally played every linebacker position on our defense at some point. So definitely had that versatility. John Beeson was said to be act as a mentor to him when he came to the Giants. For his career overall, 51 games, 22 starts, 242 tackles, 17 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 4 QB hits. But he never played again after his rookie deal was up. And I was trying to find out more on why. And all I could find is there was an article saying, and this is actually a Buccaneers article, ironically enough, where right Tampa Bay, where I live and where he lived. It said 5 teams contacted him about playing, including the Buccaneers. But what's weird is if 5 teams talked about this guy, that's a pretty high amount of teams. Like,
yeah, especially
why did not a single one of these guys pick him up? That just seems a little odd to me. Unless it was just like they just didn't have a lot of interest and they're just kind of keeping tabs in case they needed him. And he was like a backup plan for him. But yeah, he never played again after those 4 years with the Giants there. As far as personal life, again, not much on there. And this is not a name like some of the guys we talked about, like James Brewer earlier, where there's 10,000 of them and you expect to find nothing on this guy. Like, I expected to find something. I found nothing. I can tell you he's a father. I did find an article where he took a private tour of the Big Cat Rescue. Yes, that Big Cat Rescue of the Tiger King fame there. We got a tour with Carol Baskin, who definitely did not chop up her husband in a meat grinder. Definitely did not, for the record.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Carol Baskin. But yeah, so we know he at least had one kid because of that. I don't know anything further. I don't know as far as married, multiple kids, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I have no clue. Nothing on him. So if anybody knows anything and sees anything, by all means, pop it in the comments section. We'd love to hear about that kind of stuff. See what these guys are at. It's interesting. It's fun.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.